Good morning, guys. Well, I'm in my little garden. This is really exciting. It's got a little bit of ice and snow just over here on that half. But what I'm actually coming out to do, that won't bother it. So I wanted to come over and look at my currant, plant some seeds, look at my gooseberry, and see if it's time to start propagating. Not quite sure. Kind of looks that way. I don't know, this one looks a little sad. Let's go over to the gooseberry. This garden is, I can feel the soil. I can feel the soil beneath my feet, and it's getting warmer and squishier and unthawing. But I know it's go time with planting season when this garden is ready to go. And obviously, since it's still got a little bit of ice on it, it is not. The gooseberry is a little bit larger. I think I'm going to cut some of this. I propagated some last year, and I did the whole dipping it in the growth hormone and trying to do that, and I just neglected them. So this year I'm just going to try a little simpler method. It's really bright out here today. I might go get my garden hat. So I brought it to the garden. I gotta fix these lights. It just needs a lot of repair after the winter. Beautiful morning. This morning is actually going to be, this day of the week, it's our warmest day since the fall. So it's going to be about 62, 67. It's kind of a big difference. I should look. 66, a high of 66 today. So that's pretty good. And then tomorrow it drops to 41, and then Wednesday it's high of 39. So we're going to be cold in the next couple days. So I'm planning on just enjoying the crap out of today. I have been really, I don't know, these last few weeks, we live in such a place where we get 300 days of sunshine, which is amazing. So that means we get, on average, 65 days of cloud coverage. And I feel like those last 65 days have been in the last 65 days. And it has been so depressing. I felt like some serious seasonal depression coming on. So when today is warm, I have projects I need to do inside. We've been really eating whole foods. We got back from our trip to go get our nursery trees, and we ate so much. And my whole family is really feeling the brunt of that in the last few days. Yesterday was Resurrection Day, and I need to get out and get some sunshine and get some garden done. Even if half of it is still covered in ice, I need to get this done so I can just lift my spirits. When we went over to Medford, they had daffodils blooming, and they were all a little disheartened themselves because they have had a long winter and it's been cold, and it's just now starting to be spring. But it was still, their daffodils were in full bloom, and it was just so beautiful. And I don't know, like, I feel like the Lord created daffodils because they are that first, at least for our farm, they're the first pop of joy that comes up. And that's how it was when we went over the mountain. And it's hard to feel depressed when that cheerful little flower is just smack dab in your face. So that's why daffodils are one of my favorite flowers. They're just the first in the spring to say hello, that there is hope. That I'm a winter gal. I love winter, but this has been a long one, and I am feeling the melancholy of it. So I need to get out here and enjoy this 66-degree day in the garden. Hopefully my uncle, I think, is coming. He's going to show me how to do his tractor and get some compost laid on these beds. He wants to help me out. So he's going to be doing tractor work. I can do putzing around the garden stuff, which is super fun. And I just need to be out here and get some vitamin D. Just a little melancholy. Sure, you all can resonate with me, but it's been a long winter this year. And I feel like we didn't get that much snow. I feel like we didn't get that much snow compared to what we normally do. We didn't even have to have, like, normally if it's a bad snow, we have to like have the barn plowed to the pasture because it makes harder to bring hay out to the animals. And we didn't even have to have that plowed this year. We would just, if it got bad, we just load it up in the truck and make paths through, and it was fine. Well, here's my other garden hat. If you watched my last video, it was the garden tree haul. This is my hat. That last hat I got from Bimart. Oh, I got hay all over it. Hey. Hi, Ping Pong. He's like, how do I get in here? This was the hat I got. It's a super wide brim. It's going to be perfect for keeping the sun off my face. My dad had a bout with some skin cancer on his nose. Terrible time. So we are protecting ourselves from the sun because this pale skin hasn't seen the light of day for a while. Oh, I'm also planting some poppies. I feel like I'm all over the place with this video because I'm so dang excited. I need my gloves. Gooseberries are pokey. Ping pong, you gotta come in the garden. This whole bed right here that's covered in straw, loaded with strawberries, which I'm really praying survived. And I'm really praying that they're going to be amazing for this winter or for this season. So let me get my gloves on. Okay. So essentially, I'm looking for some nice growth. Oh, clip that guy off. I'm gonna go up for the taller guy and I'm gonna just clip a ways. Peel off these. And what I'm gonna be doing is I'm just gonna, this soil's hard as a rock. Oh, not over here though. I'm gonna get a couple of these clipped and then I'm just gonna plant them in the soil. Do you hear my twins communicating? That's probably good. You got a nice little trim today, Gooseberry? Getting wild. Getting big and strong. I got quite a few clippings, just a couple minutes of clippings. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to stick them directly into the soil. And hopefully they root on their own. Surely we'll get one at least. I did buy some gooseberries, so I'm not too worried about this, but I am hoping that this little amount of propagating, which Monty Don did this as well. He just took it and popped it in. I don't think it was gooseberries, but he did it with other things, but surely it'll work, right? So let's just try this out. This soil is still a little bit froze down yonder. I don't know if this is gonna work good. You got a wee bit. You want to peel off the noids that are gonna go below the soil. This is a root. Sunflower root. Okay, so that guy, there's one. Great. There's still a frozen hunk of layer. But you know what? I'm gonna double up on some of these because I don't have much faith. Oh my gosh, I just saw something cool. So in this first bed right here, we have planted a couple perennials, which I'm not surprised are not up yet because obviously but it is under the tree. This is where the snow melts the furthest and I've never seen this. How many years ago? 4 years ago, I planted a patch of orage or orc or whatever you want to call it. Orage, I think is the fancy term. And it has perennialized every single year. It's this beautiful hardy, I have the magenta kind. It's these, they go big and tall. A lot of cut flower farmers use them in their bouquets, but they are also one of the earliest greens. You can get the green kind. This is the magenta, hot, like beautiful pink purple. It's so gorgeous. And It's one of the earliest ones, and I always see it when it's small. I have never seen it germinate, and that is what I'm seeing right now. I hope this is showing up. Look at the seed caps are still on it. It's all throughout here. It's really in the pathways a lot. Oh, how funny. There's just like a stem of it. Here it is without the seed cap. And it's all throughout this portion of the bed. Oh my gosh, there's so much right there. Got some feathers because we use the chicken compost. This is going to be one of the first green. Obviously, it's super hardy. So if you live in a cold climate like me, it's great to grow. It's edible. Obviously, you can use it in arrangements. So it's multi-purpose, but we're going to be eating our greens very soon, which tells me the soil is it's perfect probably for spinach. You can get, I should go get some spinach seeds and just throw them in here and see what happens, because spinach will bolt. No, like, it does not like warm weather. So if you're going to be planting spinach in our cold climate, feel free to just throw some seeds out. I've even heard my gardener on YouTube, he's like, I just throw it out on my snow and it'll plant itself. So maybe we should do that today and see what happens, because this orange is growing and looking gorge. I also came out here to plant poppies, because poppies, I actually didn't have a single poppy, and maybe I didn't have any poppies last year. Peony poppies. If you look back on videos from 2 years ago, this garden is just absolutely beautiful with peony poppies. They're the bread seed poppy. They're just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, and they're one of my favorites to grow. The seed I use Baker Creek seed every year, but I didn't have any germination. Neither did my cousin, neither did my sister. My cousin actually reached out and told them, and they sent her seed, but I don't know. I'm like, I have too much questioning my own abilities, like I did something wrong. So I did not. I'll just buy new seed. I'll show you some poppies. I couldn't find all mine. This glove is just deteriorating in my hand. I'd like to find some more of mine. This is not a peony poppy. This is the mother of pearl poppy. It's still pretty, but it's like double petal. This is one of my favorites, the frosted stammen, the crimson feather. Okay, I have 2 poppy packets here, but they look, this is the black peony poppy and this is the purple peony poppy. They look pretty similar. This looks a little more full because it's a peony. This one is absolutely beautiful. My favorite, I know I have seeds for it. It's the Flemish Antique Poppy. You can get it at Baker Creek. I also ordered some. They were doing a deal on botanical interest, like we buy 2 packs, you get 1 free, or what, buy 1 get 2 free, I don't know. So I got the double peony blend, so they don't specifically tell you a variety, but that's okay. And I got a bunch of those. So I'm going to plant those, scatter them around. If you see all these raspberry canes right here, they have been in here since the first year I planted this garden, which was, I think this is its 5th year. And they are not very big. The ones I planted 4 years ago are taller. They get way more sun. So when I have talked to you about the first row in that market garden where I'm going to be planting my raspberries and building a trellis, these, except that's a currant right there, but the rest of those guys are all moving to the big garden this year, and that's going to be quite the project, man. That's gonna, hi, you found me. Kitten. This kitten I'm a little angry with because he's been eating the tops off of my San Marzano tomatoes in our laundry room, and we've been trying to keep him out, but we have 3 children that go in and out of the laundry room often because that's their bathroom as well, and the pigs are hungry and their breakfast is coming, so that's what they're oinking at. My twins do the pig business. They sell the pigs. They buy some feed. They get keep money for the piglets, so they feed them because it's their job. But Ping Pong's been eating my seed caps, starting to tick me off. He went and got fixed. He's 7 months old, so at 6 months old he got fixed last. We took him in to get fixed in March, and he just this week is starting to love on me again. He hated me. He hated me so much. He wouldn't want to look at me. He wouldn't want to come snuggle with me. He normally would like come and snuggle with me at least once on the couch and just take a nap. Since I took him to get neutered, nothing. He just hates me. But we're working on our relationship here, except he's now ticking me off because he's eating my tomatoes. Do you have something to say for yourself, sir? No, he doesn't, because he's just that way. So all I'm going to do with these is broadcast them. They don't need buried. They just stick right on top of the garden soil. Super easy. You want me to show you? Because sometimes I say it's super easy, and if you're an experienced gardener, you're like, okay, yeah, that's crazy easy. But if you're not an experienced gardener and you've never grown poppies, let me just show you, because it is super easy. One year I broadcast them in the beds, and it was like the year I turned this into a flower garden. I quickly realized that I love this garden for food, and because of the shade of this big pine tree I'm sitting under. Old Treebeard over here. This is Treebeard, he has a face and a name. He is quite the majestic being. I have been told so many times by people to chop him down to give my garden full sun, but he is what makes this garden so peaceful and so calming for me, especially because I can't handle a lot of heat. I get overheated very easily, and so when I can't handle the heat of the big garden, I come in here, sit in my rocking chair, and I get to putz. I'm like, oh, that needs weeded, and I get to do my job. This tree has been, I always think, especially, I'm not going to tell you if you live in a cloudy place, but if you live in Central Oregon, I think it's very important to have a tree in at least part of your garden so you can experience the cool of the afternoon, even when it's stifling hot, because we are in the high desert. We do get a lot of heat here, so it's like a catch-22 with the frost in the summer plus the heat of the high desert. That's why it is one of the most challenging climates in the US to grow in. So, but you can grow. Anyway, the moral of the story is Treebeard over here makes this garden why I love it, because it's the coolness. And in the evenings when it's still piping hot, this garden is, I kid you not, it's 20 degrees cooler in here. I have quite a few trees around here, but this is the one main pine tree I have one little sprouted one, but people have said time and time again, chop them down, chop them down. Never. I will never chop them down. And in fact, I'm growing more. I'm left 3 pine trees in my large garden to create a microclimate in there. So these are the poppy seed. These are the bread seed peony poppy blend from Botanical Interest, and because I'm not 100% sure if it was a seed for these, thought it'd be good to just double up a little bit. And over here in this corner is where I'm going to plant them. It's actually a few days later, and I realized a clip was missing. It's using my GoPro, and I'm still getting really familiar with that, so I had to go back to Old Faithful here. This is my camera. I use an M50. It's like a beginner vlogger camera. The footage I wanted to show you was just me broadcasting poppy seeds. And I actually found, I got some seed packets that blew around I need to clean up today, but I found my own. I still didn't find my Flemish Antique. I'm about to order some just because they're my favorite. But I did get some, I have my own mix that I saved a year or two ago, and some Hens and Chicks poppies, which every time I grow, Obi, what are you doing? You guys know Obi-Wan Kenobi? He's our little mini Aussie. He's like more like a toy Aussie. He's so small. But these are the Hens and Chicks. I have yet to get any, but we'll see. So anyway, I wanted to show you how easy this is. Can you see in there? The seeds are really small. And essentially, I have a bed over here that I didn't get to. Look it, since the other day. My ice is already melting. And yes, I'm out here in sandals. All I'm going to do is just broadcast them like that. That's as easy as it is. So when I say I'm broadcasting on top of the soil, that's all I mean. I'm just literally putting them on top of the soil. It's super simple. It's probably the easiest method you can get. You can do it with other seeds too, depending on your weather. It is a high of 54 today or something. My children, I will tell you, this is when you realize you live in the north. Monday was 67 degrees, no, high of 66 on Monday, which the majority of this video is filmed on Monday. My kids had a water fight. They were swimming in the melted ice rink, and we're thinking that they were like, why isn't the pool going? I'm like, this is our first 66-degree day, kids. Like, one can only do so much when the pool's still frozen. That's actually, I think, pretty much unthawed now, but when you live in the north and you have cold winters and it gets to be 66, it's like summer. We do get an actual summer as well, so don't we get up in the 90s and the 100s, so we do get heat here. It's just when it's been a long winter. And today, now my youngest comes in and is like, had his insulated coveralls on and goes, Mom, it is like Monday, like it's so hot, I gotta get out of these coveralls. So, and I don't even think it's in the 50s yet, it's probably in the 40s. Oh, it's 38. That's funny. 38. Okay, well, it feels really warm and I'm out here in sandals, so I'm actually going to broadcast some more of my seeds. The next clip you're about to see, I'm going to be in my large garden, and where I'm just cleaning up some beds. I started to cut them and then they were just coming out with their roots, so I just started pulling them. It was faster. So we did some mullein and some grass out of here that's starting to grow up. It was really easy. The soil is definitely workable, but like this is workable soil. You can work into seeds. Oh, it's like, I'm still going. I haven't hit frost line yet, so I would definitely say the soil is workable in this garden. And this is where it gets really tempting because it's April 10th. But like I said, I still have ice in that other garden. Even though I do have some things germinating, until I'm ready to plant out, hitting the ice with planting those propagations, the gooseberries, I just don't, it's just not time yet. And but we have a lot of work to do to prep. So cleanup work, compost, laying, we got a lot of work. It's gonna make it easier with that little tractor. Even though it's a tiny little guy, it's definitely gonna make it a lot easier to get it up and out. So with this bed I am in, it got really good, well composted last year, and my in-ground garden is starting to have like raised garden areas, elevated, because of the amount of compost I'm adding. I am adding a little too much compost every year, which that's okay, I'm figuring it out. Basically, it doesn't matter I don't feel like it's made a difference with the nutrients or having too much nitrogen. What I do feel like it is costing is cash. So if I could spread it out a little bit more and just lightly top these, there's two beds that I didn't get compost on. I had my chickens on last year, so they did have manure, but I would like the soil to be built up to match the rest of the beds. But everybody else had some really good compost last year, and it just needs minimal adding just to spruce it up. Anyway, there we go. It's a beautiful day. Beautiful. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I also did not film an outro. I had some tractor footage of my uncle working. The angle was completely off and I was using my GoPro. I have, like I said, I got to get better with that. So I lost a lot more footage, but I want to just sign off. We got a lot of videos coming your way, and we will see you guys on my next video. Bye, guys.